Hello, everyone. I'm Arman Zaribafiyan, Head of Strategic Alliances at SandboxAQ, and I'm really excited to be here today and talk about the future of AI in scientific discovery and drug discovery and life sciences particularly. Joining me today is Stacie Calad-Thomson, who's the Healthcare and Life Sciences Lead at NVIDIA and also the Vice Chair for the Alliance for Artificial Intelligence in Healthcare. Stacie, thank you so much for joining us today. It's such a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Arman. This has been really exciting for us to collaborate with SandboxAQ.
So I wanted to learn from you in your position leading the healthcare and life sciences effort at NVIDIA. How do you see the future of AI in life sciences, in drug discovery, and in healthcare and patient care in general?
Across healthcare and life sciences, we see AI impacting the entire value chain from early drug discovery with advances in protein language models, protein folding design, simulated data that's helping to accelerate the discovery of targets as well as the design of therapeutics, all the way through to the acceleration of clinical trials, the realization of precision medicine, being able to understand digital twins of patients that help us identify a collection of biomarkers for what therapeutics are going to work best for what patients, and then be able to execute on clinical trials more effectively to target those patients that would benefit most from those medicines.
That's amazing. I couldn't agree more. So we recently released the SAIR dataset, which is the structurally augmented IC50 repository. How do you see a dataset like SAIR helping the field, Stacie?
The release of the SAIR dataset, I think, marks a turning point in computational drug discovery because it is one of the largest open data sets that really is accelerating the democratization of AI-driven drug discovery. It is offering more than 5 million protein ligand 3D structures labeled with experimental potency data that researchers can then train and benchmark advanced AI models that predict binding affinities. So I think that this is really transforming the previously slow, costly, and fragmented hit to lead process into a data-driven and scalable pipeline that is going to unlock, I think, a lot of cycle time reductions by moving some of that experimental wet lab work into a computational pipeline first, so that we can design in silico much faster and more accurately, then be able to test and validate much more robustly in the wet lab. So tell me, how did the design of the SAIR database come about? And maybe you can touch on a bit on what did it take for NVIDIA and SandboxAQ to create such a groundbreaking data set?
So with SAIR and Stacie, we wanted to give every scientist and every researcher the tools necessary to push the envelope on a structure-aware, AI-driven drug discovery. What we realized was that while folding algorithms are very interesting and they are breakthrough in structure-aware AI for drug discovery, what is lacking is to be able to co-fold the protein and ligand together. Instead of looking at a snapshot of a protein, we need to look at a dynamic picture of the drug and the protein interacting together, and then to be able to connect this co-folded structure with the drug potency or other properties that researchers might want to optimize for. We needed massive amount of compute to be able to achieve this at a scale. And we are glad that we have our collaboration with NVIDIA to be able to leverage a cutting-edge DGX cloud, which has top-of-line GPUs for this computation, basically to take what was there on publicly available dataset in ChemBL and BindingDB datasets with the IC50 labels, and to be able to now create co-folded structures for these protein ligand pairs in parallel using the DGX cloud. What it meant in reality was that what we originally were planning to be able to accomplish in more than a quarter was basically created in just above 3 weeks. So we had like a 4x speed up on top of what you get on GPUs by collaborating with the right team who understands how to optimize workflows on GPUs. And we were able to basically bring this data set for the entire AI for drug discovery community in record time. And that to me was on its own an impressive record.
Agreed. It's been so incredible collaborating with the SandboxAQ team. I am so excited by the excitement that we are seeing around the data set and in the field.
So with this energy and with this basically vibrant community and everyday new ideas released, how do you think the industry is going about adopting these new practices and validating and benchmarking these new ideas?
I have been working in AI applications to drug discovery now for almost a decade, and over that time, I've been on a number of panels that have been titled Hope or Hype, because I think that there has been a lot of skepticism that has been, rightly so, thrown at AI models. And I think we're at a point of maturity now where folks are starting to come around. I remember, when I first started working in AI applications, having medicinal chemists saying, no way, you're never going to be able to have an AI model do what I do. There's a lot of art to it, and there definitely is a lot of art to medicinal chemistry. And I think that we are seeing advances in what AI models are capable of doing, what they're capable of learning, and how they can be a better tool to medicinal chemists.
What do you think is needed to be able to really unlock the potential of AI in life sciences?
Yeah, I think, on average, it takes 10 to 15 years to bring a drug to discover a drug and bring it to market. I think it's not going to turn on a dime where all of a sudden we're going to push a button and out pops, a brand new validated drug that's going to cut that 15-year timeline into nothing. But there are huge discoveries that are already making progress. If things get to clinical trials, they'll have gotten there cheaper and maybe will fail faster. I think we've seen some tech bios really pave the way in this space, and some leading pharmaceuticals now that are taking the leap are investing in building out their AI teams internally and making investments in large compute needed to train and run some of these models at scale. And I think that there is a need for pharma to be partnering with platform providers that can help supplement their data and supplement their own capabilities to accelerate their pace faster. And that's why we're proud to be working with SandboxAQ as one of those partners that I think can really help accelerate pharma industry adoption of AI and help accelerate new discoveries of new medicines.
We are extremely fortunate to be able to partner with NVIDIA and really accelerate the timeline to go from molecules to medicines. Thank you so much, Stacie, for joining me on this chat.
Thank you for having me.